Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now, on with the show.
Welcome to Before the Bat, the Gotham podcast, your guide to the TV show Gotham and all things Batman. I am Phil, and as always, we have Kelly.
Hey!
Tyler.
Hey.
And you've heard of her. We've spoken of her in hushed whispers on this show. Podcaster, blogger, DJ, the more evil twin of Kelly. I give you Miss Lilith Hellfire.
Thank you! Hi guys! So happy to be here.
Glad to have you.
Yes, it's long overdue. But we ask everyone when we talk to them the first time on this show, what's your overall feeling of the show so far, Lilith?
Is this a happy podcast or nah?
It's an honest podcast, so let it fly.
Its moment, but it's still struggling in the 15th episode to get what Tonant wants to be, and that frustrates me.
What do you think that's a lot of that has to do with? Well, one, they reworked it. Originally, it was just supposed to be like a Gordon show. Then they threw all the extra characters in, and then it was only supposed to be 13 episodes. Then they expanded it to 23.
And then it became the Penguin show.
I don't know what it is. It's campy, and then it tries to be serious, and I like it. I have fun. I think that it works best as a procedural, and that's what they should stick to. Even though I hate procedurals, I think that that's the element that the showrunner Bruno is most versed in, so let's just stick with what he knows.
So stick with the procedural Gordon Bullock crime of the week.
And you can sprinkle stuff in the background and get rid of Bruce. He gets a spinoff on some random digital channel on YouTube.
Okay, I was gonna say spinoff, okay, but how dare you get rid of Bruce?
Like I said before.
We'll see him when he's 25.
Yeah, less and less Bruce is a good thing.
What? Don't take her side because she's here. All of a sudden...
No, like I said,
she mentioned it.
Like I said before, we don't need to see Bruce develop. That's not the story. Because if that's the story, they just need to do a show like that, because that would be more complex and intricate. They need to phase Bruce out so that he can disappear and then reemerge.
I don't know about disappear, but I agree they need to have focused storylines. I think he's good with when they bring Selina in.
It would be interesting to use him more as almost like a flashback too, because you could do that. You know what I mean?
What, the when his parents were alive?
Well, that, and so that you would connect with them. Because really you don't connect with them, so you don't have as much sympathy as you really should for the guy.
Yeah.
But
that would promote more flashbacks, Kelly. Never.
I know.
I knew she was gonna chime in with that.
It's Lilith's favorite topic. Now, I have another question for Lilith. How do you think we kill off Barbara?
Overdose.
Yes, that's Tyler's favorite
character. How soon?
ASAP.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We're of consensus.
Yeah, because
I'm loving his love interest. Although it doesn't seem like he's loving his love interest. He's a prude. What is up with that?
some people aren't in the PDA.
I'm not.
He used to date Barbara.
If it was Morena Baccarat, excuse me, I would make an exception. Just throw that out there.
Oh my.
He's used to Barbara. He doesn't know how to act. He's out of the game.
Yeah.
He was used to being rejected and only coming home to her chilling in the apartment. Yeah, he's not used to having a woman who gets out of the house
and puts pants on. Yeah.
And takes it to the surface.
It took her 6 episodes to get out of the apartment.
The moving set piece.
It's a good apartment.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Howard Hall.
Now squatters live there.
a two-parter episode though, so I was just like, oh, okay. I don't think this episode needed a two-parter.
No, I feel
No.
like they wrote the script and they're like, hey, this is a little long. We can cut it, or we can just add a bunch of stuff and make it 2 episodes.
Or did they need filler
Yeah.
for a longer season?
All the above.
Yeah, because they could have caught him last episode.
Okay, here's what killed me. You said that. I gotta share this. If you are a cop and you learn who the perpetrator is, the first thing you do is find their last residence.
Yeah.
Why did it take them so long to think, let's get his last residence? Like, it seriously took Gordon and Bullock too long to think of, let's find his residence.
Because Gordon had to fight off his new doctor girlfriend, that's why.
Because of plot many reasons.
Mm.
I'm glad somebody caught that too.
I'm just like, the first thing I would have thought of is find his last residence.
But then also, the lady literally handed him the motivation with that paper. Like, she's like, yes, here, this is why he wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Like what? Just really?
That's awfully convenient.
Here's my whole evil plot laid out on paper.
I was glad it was the son, though, because I was like, man, the Scarecrow's gonna be old by the... I mean, like, old, like dusting dirt by the time Bruce gets to the
Well, that's what people have been saying. They're like, half these villains, by the time he puts on the suit, they're going to be in, like, using
Geriatric.
walkers, to get around.
So
No wonder
we got Poison Ivy, we've got Catwoman, and we've got Scarecrow in around Bruce's age, so that's good. But the Penguin,
And
like,
Hush.
Yeah, and Hush.
oh yeah.
Don't talk about our friend like that.
I know. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing. They need to bring him back and flesh that story out more. I mean, he was on there for
Yes.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Bruce needs a friend. Let's just throw it out there. The man needs a friend.
Yeah, he
What
does.
outfit?
Because later he doesn't have them.
He has kids in brightly colored clothes he throws in front of bullets and stuff.
Does that not seem kind of odd to you?
We won't go there. We don't think about that.
And Lilith, what do you think about Alfred? Alfred's pretty cool.
I was tentative about the casting initially, but I think that Sean Pertwee is amazing. Surprisingly, he's the best thing about Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's channeling that last Batman show a little too much though on Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
Instead
Boy
of
the Batman.
they hadn't really let Alfred be his own. Like, I don't want to see a Michael Caine, and I definitely didn't want to see that, that MI6 Alfred from that last Batman cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Oh,
only
from
thing.
Where the Batman?
Yeah, that's what I feel like that's where they drew that inspiration from, definitely. More
But
than
do you think they did that just so he can be like a big part of his training?
Yeah.
And make him interesting. Just make their dynamics, their story just a little bit better.
Yeah, I think they did that just so Bruce could learn more home and not have to travel abroad so much.
Yeah, definitely. But he called him Master B in this episode. I'm like, dude, be cool, man, but not that cool.
Son of a doctor,
He always calls him Master Bruce.
So
Yeah, but he called him Master B.
Yeah, he called him
I was
B.
like, what is this? The
Oh.
Fresh Prince of Gotham?
How did I miss that?
Alfred-
I just zoned out.
Alfred's trying to be street.
Yeah.
And what did you
Totally
guys think
missed
of this episode overall, though? Like,
I give it a 4.
A 4 out of 5, did you?
Yep. You know why?
No Barbara, yeah. He's always like 4, 4.5 out of 5, and it's always if it's no Barbara.
The story was good. I mean, the episode had its faults. I mean, there were some great parts with Gordon and Tompkins.
Yeah, but I think it could have been even better if they just would have combined the last episode and this episode and kind of made it an hour.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree. But still, no Barbara.
It was definitely drawn out.
what you guys think of the Penguin meeting?
Enigma,
Melissa.
oh yeah.
That was
That
the
was
weirdest
funny.
scene in a long time on the show.
He's just like, get away from me.
Even more awkward than Ray Palmer.
Oh!
Oh yeah, I concur, ma'am.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we have transferred to the Queen Consolidated podcast.
No, not at all.
Nope.
I don't know. This is an awkward episode, I guess, is the best way I could put it. Like, I liked a lot of things about it. I liked the fear formula that they were mixing up. And trying to throw some pseudoscience in there. That's always fun.
What about the whole Fish Mooney thing?
I knew she was gonna stab him.
That was the most predictable thing
Yes.
in the whole episode. I wanted to see how she got kidnapped, like, because we end the last episode with her running at the dude, and then now nothing. That doesn't get resolved. She's just thrown in a prison.
Well, that's what I said last episode, because Tyler was like, what was that scene with her running at him, and then they just cut I was like, that's the alternate ending to Captain Phillips.
That's straight up cheese.
That would make that movie more interesting. But she runs at him yelling, then he runs at her yelling, and I'm just like, oh my god, really?
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to ham it up on this show. I admire them for that.
A Dragon Ball Z ending.
Well, I think,
It's only 9,000!
well, I think we said from day one, Fish is kind of like, I don't know, she's over the top a lot. She's the most cartoony character on there.
Well, no,
She's definitely eccentric.
Eccentric.
Daddy, fishy.
Ugh.
Her character's a little fishy.
Kelly, are you trying?
This is why I can't get puns out of her. You guys suck it all out over.
It just flows. We're not sucking anything. It just...
This show just lends itself to so many puns.
It really does.
Yeah.
I want someone to say
the show.
a comment about that prison she in. It's called the barrel. So like we got fish in the barrel.
Dude, I was like, is she a man to you? Like that's what it kind of felt like she's in purgatory right now.
That could be.
I know. Well,
Like, you know, like she's stuck at the bottom of the maze or something at this point.
but what is...
that be the twist of all twists?
So, but, I mean, what is this whole story? I thought at first maybe they were like Falcone's men or somebody's men, but now are they just like pirates who kidnapped her?
Yep.
Or
They're doing
people who have been
experiments, so that's what made me think of the maze.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Do we care who they are? We're just mad they haven't
No,
killed
not
fish
really.
yet. That's all I care about. Like, just go ahead and kill her off.
So what are you saying? She's gonna come back all pumped full of Mirakuru or something?
Oh, God. Please don't let it happen. Please just don't let her come back.
I thought that it was high time for Fishy gone. I thought that they should have definitely killed her when they killed Butch. I like Butch more than I like her. So.
Ooh, I completely agree with that.
Did we see a body? Is Butch dead for sure?
We're running on assumptions, but in a show like this, you know what they say about assuming.
Yeah, because
The only people we know are dead are the Waynes. That's it.
And I'm not even sure about that anymore.
That's right.
Butch was my number one suspect in the Wayne killings.
That would be. Hey, it still could be true. Could you imagine, like, just Bruce's frustration that the person that killed his parents was already killed and he can't do anything about it?
Yeah, I told you Charlie Esser's theory. He said that he thought Butch was maybe Joe Chill.
That would be awesome.
They call him Butch. I hope to God that's not his real name, because
Well,
that would just
For
suck.
Butcher.
Well, that doesn't sound like a real name, and neither does Joe Chill, so you never know.
Hey, Joe Chill sounds like a horrible name to have.
Sounds like a nickname Snoopy would have.
Joe Chill?
Yeah, he was Joe Cool.
I know. I carried a Joe Cole backpack to kindergarten, I know.
There you go.
He
I
was
did
like,
love Penguin's Club, though. The first attempt, anyway. Oswald, the little umbrella, I was like, that's kind of cute.
Is it going to become the iceberg eventually?
It almost has
That-
to, right?
yeah, that's what I was wondering. How, like, before they said it was going to be Oswald's, I was like, are they just going to go ahead and be, like, super bland and be like, Oswald? Be like, the iceberg? But no, they did Oswald's, and I was like, okay, I can get behind that.
It's a punk rock place. I was like, Gotham doesn't seem like it has too much of a punk rock scene, bro.
I was thinking that's the only people he could get to come in. Nobody wanted to come into his club.
Yeah, Gordon didn't want to come.
He was mad. His best pal Gordon didn't want nothing to do with him.
Well, he made him promise that nobody was going to get hurt, and he lied to him. Like, I could have seen them having a very uneasy friendship, but now it's just done in Gordon's mind. Because he didn't want to have that on his conscience. And I
Yeah,
feel like we should explore that more than what we are.
they might.
Gordon has gotten boring. He has. I care about everybody else except for Gordon. I was all here for Ben McKenzie when the show originally started.
Well, they haven't given him much to do since he got his badge back.
You know what they needed to get him to do? Barbara needs to show up pregnant with his daughter and dies in childbirth. And then he's got to raise
There
his
you
daughter,
go.
Barbara, on his own.
You know what? I'm here for that. A little too soon for that, but I'm here for that.
Yes, those two need to have a redheaded daughter. Yeah, I can see that.
So how do you guys feel about that, though? About the anachronistic situation that we have in Gotham? Like,
Well,
it's just a mix of everything. Like, they dress like they're in the 50s. The cars look like they're from the 60s. They got, like, 2002 cell phones.
I think like
Hello, the 90s Flash.
yeah.
So,
I think like Tyler said last week, they're trying to go for that timeless look. Like you can't pin down a specific time. Yeah.
Because then they have flip phones, and they're not like old looking flip phones. They're newer looking flip phones.
like the last batch from, like, 2007. I think that's the last time a manufacturer made a flip phone.
No, they still make them.
Yep,
I talk
Really?
to people every day who have flip phones.
that's all
Like
my
'em.
coworker will buy.
Are they old people or drug dealers?
There are people who just don't want smartphones.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't blame them on that.
they don't want to pay the plan for the smartphone.
So the Amish.
They
Hey
just want to be able
now,
to make calls.
I got a coworker that's that way. My folks are that way too because they just use their cell phone for absolute emergencies. But you know,
I
and
think
don't forget the Obama phones.
I think it'd have been cooler just to put it in like the 40s because I definitely like the costuming of the show. But then when they
Yes.
pull out those flip phones, I'm just like, oh, like that is the biggest thing you can commit is show me a flip phone in 2015. I just
A lot of companies do it. Government phones are all flip phones. We have tons of government contracts that are all done through flip phones.
Yeah, I guess you could say, you could say that. You could say, Gotham's so corrupt, the money they're supposed to give them for cell phones, they pocket like half of it.
Then they'd all have rotary phones
Oh.
and bag phones in their cars.
They would have pulse phones.
Hey, do you guys know who did the visual effects for the fear sequences? For the woman on fire?
No,
I
who
thought
was
that
that?
was actually pretty well done.
Yeah, and the Scarecrow at the end when he was hallucinating the Scarecrow, that was some.
Did anybody think Nolan's trilogy though?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you not think of Scarecrow and not think of that?
Actually, I personally can.
I was gonna say me too, but if you're not like an avid comic book reader, maybe
Yeah.
not.
I'm saying visually. I mean, everyone takes their cues from that.
Unfortunately, I mean the cartoon in and of itself. Like I love the original Batman animated series. Their take on the design
Yes.
before the Red Sky season, where everything got wonky.
Well,
And
which
Angel-
one? There was two different Scarecrows in the first season of the animated series. There was two different masks.
I like the second
One
because they
one had
refined.
the straw hair. Was the second one. The first one was just like a bag
Yeah,
over
The
his head.
second one they refined it. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you find it too literal though that he's called the Scarecrow because he saw the last thing that he got scared to death was the Scarecrow though?
I do like the scene though of him being under this Scarecrow, like freaking out though. I would. It's one of those characters. I wonder if where it goes is he overcomes his fear, like because he saw that and he's being haunted by the Scarecrow, he becomes the Scarecrow because he overcomes his own fear
Yeah.
and now wants to inflict fear in others.
He becomes his own boogeyman.
Symbolic.
Yeah.
Kind of the symbolic of what his dad did.
Right.
So his dad wanted to cure fear and take it out. Now he wants to inflict fear and give it.
Because fear was inflicted on him.
Exactly.
But so he's not gonna be a doctor in this iteration if we ever get back to, I guess. Or what?
yeah.
Like, does he overcome it? This is just like a really weird kind of twist on it. I'm curious to see, but we won't be able to know what happens at least for another 12 years.
I know. Well, that's the thing. They throw a lot of these villains out, and then it's like, are we ever going to see them again? Like they had like a form of Black Mask. They had Hush. Now they had the Scarecrow. It's like, are we going to see these guys again?
I think it would be interesting to see villains therapy.
Harley Quinn, we need it. We definitely need Harley Quinn
That's right.
as Dr. Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's dad.
Yeah.
Wait, Harley Quinn? You said?
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't she? She's a lot younger than a lot of them. So
Yeah, she'd be like in a
You bring-
stroller.
Not in a stroller.
I don't know about a stroller. Yeah, but she might be a.
She'd be a little bit older than the Poison Ivy in the comic book. Poison Ivy's older than Catwoman, but she'd be slightly older than Poison Ivy at this point.
Yeah.
Is that Rosie?
Yes. She can't get her bed the way she wants it.
Oh. Anyway, yeah.
Sorry.
I want to know more about him. I hope that they just do we just jump a few years ahead and see where everybody is.
Well, that was the rumor in the beginning that they were going to do jumps between seasons. I hope they do.
That would be cool. Each season's like an arc, like a year in the life type thing.
I think they should switch character focus though if they do something.
Well, I think that's what they said they were going to do. Like this, they said the first season was going to be really Penguin centric, and then there was going to be someone else for the second season.
That would make sense. Spread the love.
Let's see Eddie Nigma.
It was like switch him, you know.
I hate him. Not the actor, but the way that they've written the character. I absolutely hated him.
Yeah, because they just drop him in and they give you little pay. I'm like, that's what we said the one time. They should give him like a full episode where they just like follow him around for the day.
I would love to see the day he decided to get the medical examiner fired. That should have been his episode.
Yes.
That's what I said. They should have showed him like carving off arms and legs to put in the locker.
That would.
I'm trying to remember what was the Riddler's his original last name before in the comics. He changed it to Nigma. He had a different name beforehand.
I think it was like Nashton or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. It would have been kind of cool if they had started with that.
It depends who's writing
I don't think people would know though. Like, I think that they go for the obvious. Like, the title of this episode, Scarecrow. You know?
Yeah, they have to be on the nose because I mean, I've still seen people online. They don't read the comics, but if they're like just watch the show, they're like, is that supposed to be the Riddler? It's like,
like
yeah.
Jim Carrey. And by the way, he does look a little bit scary for a particular role. Just saying.
Well, just as long as he doesn't talk with his butt.
Or say smoke it.
Yeah.
Wait, wrong. So, I really just, I should have picked next episode when they go to the place to talk about it. But I was interested in this one because it's like a straight up origin story. You don't have to wait to see what happens. Instead of just like, oh, this could be the Joker, and it's just Cobblepot being Cobblepot and trying to get his state. Like, I just want to see somebody in their full glory. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Not have every episode be an origin to some character that'll pay off later.
If ever.
Yeah, if ever.
But what do you think, Lil? If they said they're going to bring in the Red Hood?
I like to see them try to make that storyline work without a Batman situation.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy if they bring in the Red Hood gang instead of just the individual Red Hood. Because the Red Hood was multiple people, and then you had the gang that was different people that supposedly was around Gotham for a while. I mean, we've already seen the production photos they have out for the episode of Gordon and Bullock over a body holding a Red Hood.
But what about
I'm
that?
not obsessed with spoilers for this show. I just kind of, like the day of, I kind of just watched it and see some promotional photos. I just kind of take it one episode at a time with Gotham.
And what about those previews for next week? No mention of Flying Graysons, but they have that kid who I guess I hope it's a psych out. I hope it's not really the Joker already.
Yeah, I think it definitely is a psych out. It almost has to.
Yeah.
I'm just at the point, like, I don't want the Joker. Like, I don't...
No. Yeah.
Like, I don't need the Joker to be in Gotham.
He can come in later. Not everybody can come to Gotham while Bruce is a kid.
Yeah,
I agree with you, but I mean, some people that's the best draw. Like, especially in the early days when we were focusing on Mooney's Club and she had all those different performers, like, that was the running gag. It's like, ooh, this could be him. And notice that the viewership, when they stopped doing that, kind of went, wah, wah, wah. Just saying.
The problem is everybody wants to see the established characters. Nobody really wants a prequel. Everybody just wants to see the show beat Gotham. And like Phil and I discussed before, it would have been a really cool show if it was Gotham at the time of Batman, but all from the cops' point of view.
Yeah, GCD. That's what it was supposed to be, and that's why I was excited. And then the suits got their hands on it. Damn suits. No, I'm serious. Like, I read the original pilot script, and I was pumped for it. And then I saw the second draft, and then I saw the third draft, and I'm like, oh, hell no. And then I saw it at Comic-Con, and I was just like, okay, this is not gonna be my must-see appointment.
Well, that's my mantra. I'm like, stick to the source material as close as you can. No suits.
Comic books are literally they're serialized, so they make perfect TV shows. Just follow the arcs.
Exactly.
I don't know what is so hard about that on any show. But no, we're gonna twist it and make our own. How about you not? Some show like Flash can get away with it. Arrow, they might want to stick closer to the source material, and this show definitely would benefit from sticking closer to the source material because that's what everybody wants to see.
Everybody wants Batman. That's why they get excited when there's Batman stuff.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If they can't have Batman, they want to see the Joker, they want to see the Penguin, they want to see the Riddler.
They should have just done Suicide Squad then. Like the TV show.
Well, they are, aren't they?
We're doing a Suicide Squad movie, but let's not get little started on that.
Yeah, well, hey.
But that's what I mean. Like, it's just, it's so unfortunate because the cast is super talented. Like, I always think that they do a good job, but I always think the material's a little shaky. Like, they just don't know what they want to go for. And this episode is just paramount piles of evidence that they just don't know in the 15th episode of the first season and what they want to do. It scares me. Like, we got a season 2, but what is season 2 going to look like if this is all that we can come up with?
Well, like I said before, do you think this is just them because they had to expand the season by 10 episodes?
I don't know. Like, Bruno Healer, this is the thing, I was so disappointed. Like, the first, 5 seasons of Mentalist are just very well paced, very well plotted.
Yep.
And I was just expecting, like, a more concise thing. Like, he can think on the fly. He's just one of those guys that is just good at that. Because look at what he turned the last season of The Mentalist into out of nothing, and he wasn't expecting to get it. Like, that literally happened over a summer. And he's giving the fans everything that they could ever dream for in that show. So it's just like, what's wrong with Gotham?
I feel like there's outside forces. You know, like you said, the suits.
Forces of darkness.
No, seriously, like, suits are the worst thing for action-adventure fantasy shows, especially things that are based on things that aren't original intellectual property. So it's like, oh, well, you can't have the copyright to this, and oh, we don't really like that, and oh, we're trying to do something different with this in the movie, so you might want to tweak this here. But if you do anything with Batman, you have to give it your all. You have to let the creators be creative, or you get this. And it's been some really good episodes, and this episode has so much potential, and that's what drives me crazy. Like, the direction by Nick Coltis was amazing. It was that dark, creepy vibe that I really like. And even that scene in the woods with Bruce and Alfred watching the sunrise, like, it was sweet, but not too sweet, like sticky sweet give you a cavity.
Yes. It was a hard kind of sweet.
Honestly, that was my favorite thing about the episode, was Alfred and Bruce time, and it's not. Because usually it's just like Alfred going, hey, Jim, Bruce did the thing. Jim, I'm on my way. Bruce, why'd you do that?
Why were you on the roof? Yeah. So what did we all think about that Bruce's little hike through the woods?
I was hoping that he would trip, fall into a cave.
That's what I was hoping.
You and everybody else.
Yes.
That's why I was just like, geez, you tease me the Joker and all this other stuff, but you can't even give me a cave?
Yeah.
Okay.
A cave.
You know what was coming? You know what was coming across my Twitter timeline?
What?
How could somebody be that stupid to let him go out and hike by himself? I'm like thinking, hello, when I was 10, I was out in the woods by myself in hundreds of acre woods. It's not such a stretch. He's on his own estate.
I was out at the beach in the ocean.
Well, there, Christopher Robin. Thing is, it's pampered Bruce. Like, they have to break. He needs to have that mold broken.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, they were saying how awful it was for Alfred to let him go out there by himself.
Yeah, because he's Bruce. He can't survive anything. Have you not noticed? He can't do anything yet. Like, he was trying to drown himself in his own swimming pool.
Yeah, but the way he's been, you know, even if Alfred had forbidden him and told him no, he would have snuck out in the middle of the night.
Exactly. All you gotta do is take some sticks, bend them, and you can find your way back. I mean, no big deal.
I think Alfred realizes just this way he knows where Bruce is at.
Right, and it's on his own property, so...
Exactly.
I thought that it was going to be more interesting than what it was, but like I said, the Alfred part of it was a lot better than the actual hike that he was going on. Except for the rock scene. I really enjoyed the rock. I thought that David did a really good job with that. Displaying the anguish and the frustration and letting the realization really wash over him about, yeah, his dad's never going to come. He's never going to have another hike with his dad.
Mm-hmm.
I talk a lot of smack about that kid because he got the job because, you know, hey, you're on this contract, we need to do something with you. So this is like one of those few episodes where he's like, I feel like he's earned it.
Oh yeah. But we didn't get any funny Bullock lines this episode, did we?
We got a gross Bullock line.
Yes.
Girls in high school. When I was in high school, the girls sure didn't look like this. I'm like, really, Spicoli? Is this that?
I know, he's been funny last couple episodes, yeah, and then he just went all creepy again.
What happened to his lady friend that he was macking on at the support group? Like, that's what I want to know.
That's what I said. That's what I said last week. I said we need an episode where they double date or something.
Oh my god, that would be so awkward. All uptight.
How about when Maroney told Cobblepot, he's like, when Falcone dies, you're dead.
Well, he'll be a boss in his own right by the time that happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So good luck with that, Maroney. Even though I do love David Zayas, like nobody's business. Angel from Dexter. I was just like, yeah, you're gonna be lunch eater. And by the end of this, he's gonna be lunch.
And
Don't
Maroney.
you guys think so?
What?
That Maroney's not gonna be around by the end of this.
Who knows?
I don't know. Doesn't he have to be around to throw the acid in Harvey Dent's face?
Does he though?
That's the thing.
Well,
Does
they
anything
changed the
have to
story.
happen?
Yeah.
Anything can happen. The only thing that
I
has
don't
to
want
happen
that
is
guy to be
Bruce
Harvey
is
Dent.
Batman.
That never happened.
I don't know. That was my whole theory. I said the season finale. I'm thinking Fish comes back and there's a big whole gang war. Falcone, Maroney, Fish.
Fish has got to die by the end of the season. I do not want her because she's made up. Like, she's made up for the show. So it's like, let's just get rid of all the suit inflicted crap and really get into the heart of the Batman mythos.
Yeah, well, you know Fish's days are numbered. It's just a question of when.
She better not make it to the end of the series. I'll tell you that much.
I don't think she will, but you think the suits want her in there because she's a high profile name?
I think they're pleasing Will Smith to get him to do the Suicide Squad movie is what I think that was all about.
Oh, yeah.
You just said high-profile name in a sentence talking about Jada Pinkett Smith.
Well,
Her high profile. She's a hot mess in interviews for sure.
What do you think of when you think of her acting career? What do you think of?
A Different World and Woo, which was.
I think of her getting stabbed to death in Scream 2.
No, set it off, cause.
Then I remember her being forced into the Matrix, and that's it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, good or bad, or whatever you think of her career, you know her name.
Because of her husband. That's it.
Yeah, but still, you know her name. I'm just saying. Did they want a name in there?
Ben McKenzie brought more fans to the show than anybody. That's my person.
You're probably right, but again, suit logic.
Yeah, really it was. And I was just like, oh, is this okay?
If you're going to do a show about Batman, or even Gotham, in all reality, you really don't need a name. The characters sell themselves.
Yeah, it's the job itself.
Look who everyone likes. The Penguin. I knew Robin Lord Taylor because I thought of him as ADD from Accepted. But nobody else did. Now he's the breakout star.
And now, did you see next, on Sunday, he's going to be on the Walking Dead after show, Talking Dead.
Yep.
See? No one cares about Fish.
Well, he was on Walking Dead for 2 episodes, too. That's why he's
I don't watch Walking Dead.
Yeah,
I don't either.
They killed him off, but he was on 2 episodes, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I think they said, like, he was on 1 episode, and then, like, he disappeared for a while, and then they brought him in for, like, this season premiere, where he got killed off, but I think they said they flew him in just so they could, like, I don't know, put it...
Kill him?
Well, write an end to that character, I guess, but who they didn't show much, but, yeah. And then so everyone would say, hey, look, it's the Penguin from Gotham.
He's the one that has his little car commercial, little episodes in between the commercials where he talks behind the scenes, and see, nobody cares.
I don't watch it live,
I don't watch it live either, no.
I download the episodes, so I don't have no idea about the commercials that go on.
I watch it live. I live tweet it, so yeah.
I've watched that commercial before, but yeah, I can't watch it live.
So, yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith needs to go. Save some money, reinvest it in production, get rid of Fish.
And then we can see Harvey mourn her.
Yeah, what's up with her and Bullock?
Wah, wah. Hit the sad trombone on that. I did not enjoy that at all.
Really, it's the bullet from Earth 2 that somehow is here. That's why he likes Fish.
Wow.
That was like a triple entendre that I'm not even going to touch with a 10-foot pole. So I was like, crap, it's begun.
Oh, I knew. It wasn't going to be a nice, quiet podcast with you and Kelly on here.
I was doing my best. You just set it up for me so nice.
That's okay. I expected nothing less from you two. 2 troublemakers.
That's me.
What do you think Bruce's biggest fear? Jim's biggest fear is. They asked him, and I thought we were going to get like a little contemplative scene instead of looking at that Nolan ripoff of of an ending.
Being stuck with Barbara for the rest of his life.
I don't. Going back to Arkham. I don't.
I think
Being
he
locked
liked
in Arkham.
What? I think it's
I
just
didn't say
something
him being
happened.
locked in Arkham.
I think it's something happened to Dr. Tompkins.
I think his living hell would be if, he's doing a job that he loves, but he can never make any headway.
Yeah.
If he's just stuck in the gerbil wheel and can't make a difference. I think that would drive him mad.
Yep. He hit
Oh.
the nail on the head, Kelly. But I
And
think he's a narcissistic as hell, though. Like, he feels like he has to live up to, like, his dad's reputation, and he's just this stiff guy. Like, at first I was rooting for him, but now I'm just like, Jim, the less screen time we spend with you, the better. They need to do something with that character.
Well, maybe she'll teach him to love again.
I hope so. Maybe she changed her name to Barbara. I don't know. Her middle name's Barbara.
Maybe.
You know how that goes.
But Lilith, what did you think? We had Flash a couple episodes back. The cop Gordon arrested.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of contrived and lame. It's like, can Jim just not get into something for one damn episode, please? It's so exhausting.
That's what the captain's saying.
Yeah.
I agree with Captain Hudson wholeheartedly.
Oh.
I'm so sick of the corruption Gotham. It's just making. Can we move on to something else? Can we just have like a year in Gotham where there's like prosperity, then something happens like a big Arrow-esque terrorist attack, and then we're back in the doldrums? Like, we need to liven this party up a bit.
Yeah, but for the show as the way it is, they can't do that, can they? Because it's like, it's probably going to get more depressing every year, because isn't it going to get darker and darker, and then they'll be like, well, this is why you need a Batman.
Exactly, and that's why
But we
people
won't have
don't
Batman
immediately
for
decide.
I know, but I mean, it'll just steadily get worse and worse
You
until.
can't have it constantly depressing. If any of you guys watch Supernatural, probably not. That's the
Yeah.
problem with Supernatural. It just gets darker and more depressing and more hopeless, and it's just like, why am I even watching this? Have you seen the world outside? That's my only fear for Gotham, is that if it keeps getting depressing and they don't have a fun, happy episode every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do something like Bruce take on the board of Wayne Enterprises. Do something where he's trying to, where you see other people trying to make a difference as well. And maybe getting a piece of that.
Yeah, because it's bleak. The mayor's corrupt, the chief of police is corrupt, the doctors, everything's corrupt.
Yeah, well, don't
There
you
was
think?
good people in Gotham. And I haven't met a single good person, Bruce included.
Wow. But don't you think that's why they have Cobblepot, and that's why they have Enigma? They're kind of supposed to be like the comic relief.
It's not comic relief, though.
Yeah, but that's what again, Suit Plan is that's what they're supposed to be.
Oh.
But it's not working.
Yeah,
Who's
not
getting the
working.
message? I don't know. I had high hopes for Gotham. I still think that they could pull it around if they just commit to something. In this episode, they showed that they wanted. I think they really showed they wore their heart on their sleeve with this episode. Like, they want to do all the prequel stuff for Batman. Because the hype for this episode was ridiculous. I don't remember the last time we saw an episode this hype.
Wait, this week's or next week's?
This week.
Okay. You
I
think
couldn't
they're
throw
old?
a stone without seeing a review about, a preview for this. Like, everybody was out. Like, all the executives and the writers and stuff were talking about the damn episode. And I was just like, okay.
Well, they seem to push this one more than most of the other ones. Are like, oh, this is Scarecrow's origin.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think that this is what the writers actually kind of want to do. This is the direction they want to take the show. Focus on the prequels and kind of lose all the other fringe elements.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. If Fish dies at the end of the season, we know that they kind of want to take a more traditional approach to the Gotham mythos. If she doesn't, the Suits got their hooks in deep.
But
That's my conspiracy theory for you guys.
Then we'll start seeing black helicopters.
I'm still waiting for them to have hot air balloons.
oh, the blimps.
Yep.
Oh boy.
The Hindenburg?
Oh my. Anyway.
Thank you for the historical reference. Trying to pass the joint up here.
But anyway, a weekly reminder, next week we get our Grayson episode.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay.
And
How do you
hopefully
think
our...
that's gonna work?
Isn't it supposed to be Dick Grayson's parents?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're even married yet, but...
Hey, like we said, like, the window of, depending on where they're pulling their sources from, the window of the age between Dick and Bruce is smaller and smaller. So, I mean, in the New 52, it's only, 5 years between them?
I don't know. But
'Cause I think it's supposed to be, Bruce came out as Batman at 20, 25? And Dick was like 16 or 17 when he first became Robin?
yeah, but
It was something like that.
I don't think he's going to be born yet because, I mean, if they even had like a baby Dick Grayson there, don't you think they'd be hyping the hell out of that? Like, oh, that's Robin, that's Robin, that's Robin.
Who knows? They're trying to feed us this Joker crap right now, so who knows?
Yeah, that
They
better
are
not be
so
Joker.
pushing for ratings at this point. It's kind of sad that they're sticking to that.
Are the ratings down?
I mean, they're not on track to what this wanted. Like I know after like episode 7, like they started like really kind of hemorrhaging viewers. Like over the holiday when they came back, when they were like the only new show, and then they took another week's break. That episode did really good, and then it's kind of went back down to its average. It's still good for Fox on a Monday at 8 o'clock though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not ABC Wednesday comedy. Or CBS, Thursday night lineup, but ABC lineup. But it's good.
It's no Big Bang Theory, you're saying?
Nothing is ever gonna be a Big Bang Theory.
Oh, jeez.
No, I mean that's the most watched show on TV. Cross demos. It's ridiculous. I don't know who's still watching that show.
Excuse me.
Really?
I've seen 3 episodes.
I've seen
Really?
them all.
That's it?
3. Yep.
Wow, I'm very sad.
Bazinga.
Wow.
Alright.
My TV plate's just been full. And there's an awful lot of it. Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, there was a few seasons. What is it, 6 or 7?
So, yeah, it would take me a while to catch up with all that.
Alright. Well, do we have anything else for this episode?
Nope, I'm good. We have thought about it and meditated on it and discussed the issues.
Alright, well, before we get to everyone's social media, remember everyone, come back next week for the Grayson episode. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a big mystery guest from TV. Not from the Gotham show, but from another TV show.
Which will
Fingers
be
crossed.
awesome.
What?
Which will be
So
awesome.
fingers crossed.
Yes. He said to call him back on Wednesday to remind him, so hopefully. Alright.
Oh, if you don't mind me giving us a little plug,
Sure.
Ellie and I will be doing a panel at Wizard World Chicago, Indianapolis Comic-Con on Sunday from noon to 12:45 in room 134. It's Geek My Kid Building the Perfect Geek. So come join us if you're in Indianapolis.
Alright. And, Lilith, where are the many places people can find you?
Well, I host Channel 52, a podcast dedicated to all things DC comic book related. I also co-host both Queen Consolidated and The Flashpoint with the lovely Kelly. And you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, on Tumblr, Lilith Theory, hellfire.tumblr.com, and I just started a new blog that is a safe haven for comic book geeks and pop culture junkies alike. It's called Little Pop Culture Vulture, and I'm very ashamed to admit it, but I did it for the clicks. I won't lie to people. I now review Marvel comic books.
That's right, you heard it. Lilith Hellfire reviews Marvel comic books.
Did hell freeze over?
Hellfire may have.
Look. A little bit.
Saw that one coming up the street, Kelly. Alright, the show's social media. If you want to get a hold of us, please get a hold of us. Tell us what you thought of tonight. Our email was beforethebat@gmail.com. Facebook, we are Before the Bat, the Gotham Podcast. On Twitter, we're at Before the Bat Pod. Instagram, Before the Bat _FlashArrowPod. Tumblr, Before the Bat /FlashArrowPod. And remember, you can go to our page on SouthgateMediaGroup.com and click on the forum link and you can talk to us on the boards. And you should be getting some extra content on this feed and every other DC Comics feed. The world's finest, the DC Comics Review with me and Tyler Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
Just did another one today.
Awesome.
And I am on, my personal Twitter is at Nightwing PDP, and you can email me at nightwingpdp@gmail.com. Kelly?
You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, about anywhere, at SuperSquint. That's SuperSquint. And I also write the Flash Review for voiceoftv.com. And of course, you can also hear me on Queen Consolidated and Flashpoint with lovely Miss Lilith.
Double shameless plug.
That's right.
All right, Tyler, your turn.
And you can find me at JTYPatrick on just about anything. And find me on different Southgate Media podcasts as I spread my DC love.
You mean like the Flash Arrow Power Hour?
Yeah, the Flash Arrow Power Hour.
That's you, me, and that other guy.
Yeah, you, me, and that one dude. What's his name? Felicity.
Felicity Stalker. Yeah.
Ouch.
All right, if that's it, then you know what we gotta say. Same
Same
bad
bat
time,
time, same bat channel.